I want to thank everyone for being here today. This is an important event that we have pulled together in such short notice because it's an important act that we're undertaking here. We've seen, unfortunately, a sad increase in deadly youth gun violence incidents in the city of Denver. And we're seeing younger kids as victims of these incidents. They're 12, 13 years old. Recently, I sat down with a group of young people, and I was discussing with them about how this trend of youth gun violence has impacted them. And unfortunately, one of the most troubling conversations I've ever had was as these young people explained to me that they really didn't believe anything could be done about this problem in our city and in our society. Well, today, in partnership with many other stakeholders throughout the country and here in the city of Denver, partnering with Project SAFE and many faith-based organizations, of course, one of the best police departments in the country, we are partnering to prove those young people wrong and to stand with them and to say this is something that needs to end today. We're one of the safest big cities in the country, but one act of a young person pointing a gun at another young person to take their lives or to critically injure them is unacceptable. We are seeing beefs start online through social media and escalating with tragic results. And these young people we're learning are getting access to these guns through unsecured guns at home, and of course, as we are seeing, through stolen vehicles or thefts from vehicles. So this is a multi-agency effort, taking a broader approach to address this issue right now. This is just one effort in a multi-pronged approach that we're going to undertake to help stem this trend of young people being impacted with deadly consequences. And so today, starting today, we're going to begin distributing 1,200 gun locks through our Safe Haven network. And I want to thank New Hope Baptist Church for stepping up to be the first faith organization to open its doors to allow us to distribute these locks. I want to thank all of our Safe Haven partners from around the city who, as you will learn today, starting tomorrow following services, will be distributing these locks as well. And again, we want to thank Project Child Safe for providing the gun locks. And so the message is very clear. We encourage people to come. We'll be here until 11 o'clock this morning to get these gun locks, secure their guns, and let's not allow for our guns that we have in our homes and our car to be unsecured and be the reason why another young person loses their life in our city. Let me just say this, and then I'm going to bring the chief up here. We have 4 other locations where these locks will be handed out starting tomorrow. Again, we'll be here until 11 o'clock at New Hope Baptist Church, but New Hope Ministries, and you're going to hear from Pastor Joey Garcia momentarily, starting at 10 a.m. tomorrow, or after the 10 a.m. service, he'll be handing out the locks. New Beginnings Ministries, and we have this list, by the way, to hand out as well as on my website and Facebook at 5200 Teen Home. New Beginning Ministries, their service begins at 10:30. His Love Fellowship at 910 Calamus Street, following their 9 a.m. and 10:30 services. And Anchor of Hope will be handing these out as well at 2101 High Street after their 11 a.m. services. Let me bring up our Chief of Police, Paul Pazen.
Thank you. First of all, I want to thank the mayor for leading this very comprehensive approach. This is faith-based, nonprofits, local, state, and federal partners doing something about youth violence. First and foremost, youth violence is preventable. We can actually do something about it, and this is a big step. In 2017, we had 639 guns stolen from cars and homes in the city and county of Denver. In 2018, we had 605. In 2019, 570. So we're trending in the right direction. However, we cannot pause and pat ourselves on the back and think that we're going to make a difference. Together, we have to do this. This is something that is 100% preventable. And through these stakeholders, utilizing these gun locks is a great way to keep illegal guns out of the hands of young people. Please step forward. Please help us out. Be a responsible gun owner. Grab one of these free gun locks. Denver is remarkably safe, a remarkably safe city. Let's keep it that way together. Thank you.
Pastor Joey Garcia?
Pastor
Thank you.
Glenn.
Oh, Glenn, I'm sorry. Pastor Glenn?
So I'm Pastor Glenn Garcia. My wife, Joey, and myself coordinate the Safe Haven Denver project. Over the past 3 years, Safe Haven Denver has had the privilege of coming alongside the city and actually getting outside the walls of our church, and through infiltrating the neighborhoods that we are already a part of, we have become a place of safety, a place of healing for communities. We have been a voice and a body that has come together alongside communities across denominational and faith lines that has been able to have an impact when times of tragedy would rise up. It is our privilege to have these churches that are part of the network that will, beginning tomorrow after their morning services, begin distributing these gun locks. We'd like to thank the city, the police department, for coming alongside of us and even bringing improvement to the way that the faith community can begin to get outside the walls. It truly has been a pleasure to work alongside the city, and while we don't believe this is going to solve every situation, as the mayor stated, this is a multi-pronged, multifaceted approach to bringing down the number of guns available. You know, not only violence perpetrated from one young person to another, but self-inflicted violence, whether accidental or intentional. I believe these gun locks are going to have an impact in that facet. While there will still be people that will find ways to get their hands on guns, if we as responsible gun owners will steward that responsibility well, we stand a better chance of keeping our neighborhood safe, keeping our community safe, right? And keeping our family safe, which is so important. You know, one of the things, unfortunately, I have officiated many services for young people whose lives have gone too quickly. And very often I'm asked, how do we go forward? I'm asked by the parents, I'm asked by the relatives and by the community, how do we go forward? And one of the answers that I give across the board, I'm going to actually give today in response to how we go forward, how we make this gun lock giveaway successful, how we make our city safe. To the mayor, to the chief of police, to the city of Denver, I tell you, we go forward together and we go forward by faith. And so I encourage you, utilize your local house of faith. Get connected to them, see what they have going on. You know, the work that we do as Safe Haven, again, crosses denominational and faith lines. There is no requirement for you to agree with us on the level of faith. We do this out of the care and love for our communities and out of the hope that what we will do will make a difference. Again, I'd like to thank you for your time. I'd like to thank the mayor, the Denver Police Department, the Department of Safety for all they do to assist us in being more effective in reaching our community.
Thank you, Pastor Garcia. We're going to turn it over to a veteran of our Denver Police Department, Officer Gus, who will demonstrate now how to lock up your gun. Officer Gus?
So you empty your gun first. And then this is your lock. So typically it would come already with the key in it. You take the key, turn it, and open your lock. Take the lock and stick it in the butt of the gun. And you just go through it like that. And the gun is secure.
Thank you, Officer. Very simple process. Any questions briefly from the meeting? You bet. Perfect. Everyone will be available for interviews on the side. Thank you all very much. We want to begin the process of handing these out. Again, we want to encourage folks to join us tomorrow at various locations and hand these out, and we'll be here until 11 o'clock this morning. Yes.
Can you please explain the map in there?
Oh, Chief?
Certainly. You heard me refer to numbers. We keep track of how many guns are stolen on our streets, and then we look at each one of those incidents on how we can prevent them. Unfortunately, often we have people who, legal gun owners, that will leave them in their cars, and the cars will get broken into. Sometimes the car's not even locked, and a gun will be removed from a vehicle. Some of the instances are taken from home burglaries. So just like these gun locks, we're asking people, responsible gun owners, to be just that. Be responsible and secure your weapons. This map represents the last 2 years of where the guns are taken. Chief Thomas, the patrol chief, is utilizing data to operationalize where we are doing our outreach internally from the police department. So areas where guns are being stolen, we can communicate directly to those neighborhoods and try to encourage folks to be responsible gun owners and secure their weapons.
I see some areas on red. Explain me that. What is those areas?
So again, we look at data in a micro area as well as macro, and then we use density to find those areas where it is of highest frequency. And this map represents the last 2 years in the city and county of Denver density of where the guns were stolen. Certainly.
We want to recognize a couple of us. I want to thank Pastor Downing of New Hope Baptist Church for joining us. Thank you, Pastor Downing. And then we have the Christian writers who are here as well. We thank you for being here as well as part of this effort. Thanks to all of our DPD members as well. We'll conclude now, and thank you all for very much for being here.